Michael here, and in the next 4 videos I'm going to show you everything that's on the Yamaha PSR-36 keyboard. And on the first video, which is this video, I'll be doing a tutorial of this keyboard, and the next video I'm going to be showing you the sounds. There are 32 sounds in total, and there's other features of the sounds as well. And in the third and fourth video I'll be showing you the 16 rhythms and the variations as well. Here's a bit about the Yamaha PSR-36. It's an FM keyboard which was released in around 1988, and I used to have 2 of these keyboards. I bought one back in May 2012 on eBay, which actually marked my 90th keyboard at the time, and over the months I've been collecting more keyboards. And then back in October 2012, me and a colleague, we delivered a piano to a customer from work, and the customer said to us, "Do you know anyone that would like an old keyboard?" My colleague pointed at me because he knew I collect keyboards, and it happened to be another one of these keyboards, so I used to have 2 of them. And funnily enough, my second Yamaha PSR-36 marked my 100th keyboard at the time. And then a couple of years later I sold the Yamaha PSR-36 that I bought on eBay back in May, and kept the one that the customer gave to me, which is of course this one. So this is the first video of this keyboard, and on this video I'll be going through with you a tutorial of this keyboard. So if any of you have this keyboard yourselves, you can get to know a little more about this keyboard with this video. So thank you very much for watching, and hope you enjoy this tutorial of the Yamaha PSR-36. Okay, so the first thing that I would like to show you on this tutorial of this keyboard is the features of the rhythms. Now, on this keyboard there are 16 different rhythm styles in total, but also on top of the 16 rhythms you have 8 bass and chord variations and 8 bass and chord voice variations. So I'll show you some of those now. So we select disco, for instance, and this is variation 1 with the bass and chords. And now what we're going to do is that we're going to change the variations and combinate them as well. So something like this. But also on top of that, you also have 5 rhythm variations as well. So 5 different drum variations for each rhythm. We can also combinate them as well to all sorts of possibilities. That also applies to the other rhythms as well, so I'll show you some rhythms. yes, there are tons of possibilities for that. And now when you go up to pattern variation 8 for the bass and chord, you can actually make your own bits, like this. So you can make your own sort of chord phrases. Also, on top of the rhythms with the variations, you can also have the voice variations. So for each rhythm, variation, you can also have 8 bass and chord variations. So I'll show you some of that now. You can also combine these as well. So that's just the features of the 16 rhythms with the bass and chord pattern variations, voice variations, and the rhythm variations. Now another quick thing that I want to show you with the rhythms is the bass chord, the auto bass chord, and the rhythm volumes. So you can alter the volumes for both the drums and the auto bass chord. So we're going to start a rhythm. And you can alter the volume of the auto bass chord and drums. So that's just a quick feature of the auto bass chord and drums volumes. And now the next thing that I want to show you is the mode here. So we have the mode is off, so that all you just get is the sounds of the keyboard. And then we have here single finger mode, in which we can just play chords with just one finger. And we have fingered mode. So we have to use multiple fingers for chords. And we have here manual bass, which acts as a split. So you've got your orchestra voices on your right hand. And we have the bass split on the left hand. And with the voice variation here, we can actually change the bass voices, doing it that way as well. And then we have keyboard split, which also acts as manual bass, but oh yeah, no, one thing I forgot to mention, the manual bass is monophonic. And we have keyboard split, in which which is polyphonic. And in order to change the voices for that, we use the chord variation. So we have the piano, and the electric piano, organ, and so on. So we can play something on the left hand and the right hand. So that's just the mode feature, in which you can have keyboard split, manual bass, fingered, single finger and off. And with the keyboard split and manual bass, you can also change the voices using the voice variation sliders here. Okay, so another quick feature that I want to show you is the custom drummer, so that you can create your own rhythms. So we're going to select a rhythm, so we'll select disco. And in order to make our own rhythm, we're going to select program. With that, we're going to press clear to completely delete that rhythm that was playing. And from here, we can actually make our own rhythm. So now that we've done that, we can now play it on top of a style. So for this instance, I selected disco. I selected the disco style. But once we select a different rhythm, your custom rhythm will go away. So just like that. And that is how you use Custom Drummer to create your own rhythms. However, you won't be able to save the rhythms, but it's still a fun feature to mess around with. Okay, so right now I'm going to show you some features of the voices. First of all, I'm going to show them. Here we have the sustain, so we're going to select a piano. And we have two levels of sustain. We have sustain 1. And we have sustain level 2, which is basically longer than sustain 1. So that's just a sustain feature. And now the next thing I want to show you is the duet harmony. So we're going to turn that on. But in order for the harmony to work, we need to have it on either single finger or fingered chord for the left hand, so we can have a duet harmony. So that's the duet harmony feature. And now the next feature I want to show you is the keyboard percussion, so you can get access to the keyboard's drum kit. Simply just press the keyboard percussion button here. Well, before I do that, here is the sounds here. But when you press the keyboard percussion, you can now get access to the drum kits here. So that's how you get to the keyboard's drum kit. Okay, so now there's one more voice feature that I want to show you, and probably like the best feature of this keyboard is the digital synthesizer. So with the digital synthesizer, each of the 32 sounds can be modified. So here's the original sound. Oh, turn the keyboard percussion off, there we go. But with digital synthesizer turned on, you can make some nice and weird effects. We'll select another sound. Here's the original sound. Now digital synthesizer turned on. So that's the digital synthesizer, in which any of the 32 sounds can be modified. And according to the owner's manual, with all the 32 sounds and the digital synthesizers, oh yeah, so we have spectrum, brilliance, envelope, vibrato and detune. I should have mentioned that first of all. And yes, as I said, according to the manual, with all the 32 sounds there are on this keyboard, and each sound can be modified with a digital synthesizer, you can have, there's around a total of around 100,000 different combinations with the digital synthesizer with the 32 voices. And that is the digital synthesizer feature. Here's another quick feature that I want to show you, and that is the pitch, which is basically the tuning of this keyboard. So we've got this these pitch buttons here, in which we can alter the tuning. So just like this. And you press these two simultaneously to get the default pitch. Let's just do another sound. So that's just a little feature of the pitch where you can alter the tuning of the keyboard. Okay, so there's just one more thing that I want to show you on this tutorial of this keyboard, and that is the chord sequencer. So you can record your own progression of chords. So up here we have the chord sequencer, and when you're ready, you just press the record button here. And now it's waiting for us to play the rhythms, so we can make our own sort of chord progression. And then we press stop once you're done. And then we press the play button here to play that back. And with the chord sequencer, with that, we can also change like the rhythms and variations. So quite a fun feature to mess around with. So we'll do that again, but changing the variations and the rhythms. And now we press stop and we press play on the chord sequencer again. And now with the chord progression that I've done, recorded, I can now use my two hands to play something with the orchestra voices. So we're going to select, we're going to play a percussion sort of sound. Oh, there we go. Yes. There we go. We play that. And then it will actually start as soon as I press the keys. So that is how you use the chord sequencer to record your chord progressions and then play them back, so you can play stuff on the right hand of the with the orchestra voices. Okay, so this is now the end of this tutorial of this keyboard. I do hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and that you have found this tutorial useful with all the features of this keyboard. I must say, for a keyboard for its time, it had some really good features and literally thousands of possibilities with the sounds of the digital synthesizer and hundreds of possibilities with the rhythms, with the variations, etc. and other features as well. So again, I do hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and please do write back to me and tell me what you think. Thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for the next video in which I'll be showing you the 32 voices.